Hey, what's up, world of YouTube? This is RJ Game News USA here, back today with another video. And boy, oh boy, the Metroid Prime 4 previews are out, and they are causing an entire shitstorm of controversy. And we're gonna go over all of that today. So if you like this kind of stuff, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video out there. And let's jump right into it. So there have been a bunch of previews involving Metroid Prime 4. Nintendo's let a lot of the media take a look at this game and let people play this game. And I want to carve through the controversial bullshit surrounding it. And we're going to get into it, and we're going to get my thoughts and opinions. So, the biggest offender among them is the IGN preview. They were really harsh on Miles McKenzie. It's a side character that's in Metroid Prime 4. And apparently, he talks a lot. And he's very annoying, according to IGN. Now, based on the few scenes that I've seen and the footage that I've seen, I totally agree with what I'm seeing. This character is fucking annoying. But I also, at the same time, it's the childification of Metroid. And this is one of the things that I feared about bringing Metroid Prime back. I wanted so badly to get Metroid Prime 1 and 2. Like, the feel of that. The isolation. Almost tinging upon horror, basically. Almost like a fear of what's around the corner. You know, that feeling you don't know what's going to happen. The silence, the music, the ambiance. I prefer that style better. However, this does not fully write off Metroid Prime 4 for me. Because, although there may be things happening in the series that maybe I don't agree with necessarily, there's also some really cool shit going on. Like the psychic powers, the motorcycle, the different hubs you could visit. Also the fact the game looks gorgeous as hell and runs amazing. It's probably the best looking Nintendo game ever made. And it could run at 120 frames a second at 1080p in handheld mode. Or 4K 60 frames per second docked with those kinds of visuals. It is a technical masterpiece. And remember, it was a Switch 1 game that's just getting a Switch 2 edition. And also, we've been waiting this game forever, and Nintendo is finally delivering it. The enemies look great, the combat looks crisp, and I'm excited for that part of it. I really am. And the story seems solid as well. However, we do get into the age-old debate between, do you want side characters in your Metroid Prime? And my answer is, fuck no! Look, I did enjoy Metroid Prime 3, despite the side characters. Not as much as I enjoyed 1 and 2. I did enjoy Other M, even though everybody shit on it. I still liked it. But I had more of a problem with the gameplay elements of that one than I did Samus talking. So I was okay with Samus having a game where she talked a lot. But I do prefer the game where she's quiet as a mouse. I do prefer the silent protagonist with my Metroid, with my Zelda, with my Mario. Why? Because at this point, them talking is weird. If they did. So Nintendo wants to include more story. They want to be more cinematic with Metroid, with more cutscenes. If you remember, there weren't a whole lot of cutscenes in the original Metroid Prime. However, Metroid Prime 4 seems to be full of cutscenes and VOs, like voiceovers, interactive dialogue. However, they treat you like you're 2 years old. Nintendo games tend to hold your hand in the first hour. And the problem is, with these previews, they are often the beginning of the game. instead of Nintendo caring about the previews and giving them a vertical slice that's more in the middle of the game. It would probably be more beneficial to them. So these previews getting out the way they have given them negative publicity, which was a misstep by Nintendo. They should know that most of these video game journalists are a little more hardcore than the average player or the childlike player they could be going for. I think, if anything, Metroid should have went the other way and been more mature. However, Nintendo does want to appeal to a mass audience. Clearly, it's worked for them with mini games in the past. So you're going to get the tutorial. You're going to get the annoying side character that talks. I don't really particularly enjoy the fact that most of the missions feel like you're just there to rescue other Marines. I don't give a fuck about the other Marines in the game. I don't. I just want to play as Samus, abandoned, on a planet, trying to figure shit out. However, I can't write off Metroid Prime 4 completely, because I know for a fact the gameplay is going to be incredible. And on top of that, we know the music will be great. We know that there's a lot about this game that's going to be awesome, regardless of what they say in the previews. And to be completely honest, there's a lot of times, even in single-player games, I mute the volume and listen to podcasts on the side. Why do I do that? Because number one, I don't always get into video game stories. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Number two, I'm a busy guy and I need time to listen to my podcast while I'm playing games. I don't have time to do that separately a lot because I have a lot of responsibilities. And I think a lot of people do the same thing. That's why they gravitate to multiplayer games. And if they're not playing with their friends, they might be listening to a podcast on the side. It's called multitasking. Now, with Hyrule Warriors, for example, I am intrigued by the story. And I will pause the podcast when there's a story cutscene that comes up. However, there are many, many side quests in that game. And when I'm going on a whole shitload of side quest runs where the dialogue, it's just dialogue boxes anyway, and only a few sentences spoken, I'll mute the TV and just listen to podcasts during. I don't care. So I'll have like main mission runs and then I'll have side mission runs. And I've done the same with even some of my all-time favorite games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. However, with Metroid Prime, it can get a little more difficult than that. The music is kick-ass. You've been listening to Pandora Drifts in the background as this video goes on from the original Metroid Prime. And you don't know when a moment could happen where you want to hear something. However, if I have to sit there and listen to a Miles McKenzie talking nonstop, telling me where save points are, and cracking jokes, then I'm just going to mute the motherfucker anyway. Will that affect the overall score I give that game? Yes. But will it ruin my experience? No. And I think that's the measured approach to take, even if you're against a Miles McKenzie. So anyway, guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you like what you've seen from Metroid Prime 4 so far? Are you excited to buy it? Or are you a little worried now? So just let me know, and I'll see y'all later. This is RJ signing out. Have a good one.